Team USA basketball is quickly becoming an episode of The Bachelor, which Francis really loves to watch. And by that, do they still give out roses?
Yes, of course they do.
So basically,
Jason,
I don't watch the show.
will you accept this rose?
Will you accept this pen? So basically why I make that reference is if you're going to take a look at SB Nation, there are 3 gentlemen that have received roses to not be playing in the Olympic basketball this summer. Anthony Davis, as we mentioned.
You don't receive a rose to not to play. They just didn't get a rose.
Oh, you don't get a rose?
Yeah, roses are good things.
I'm learning. So say the big news, Chris Paul told Sports Illustrated's Lee Jenkins this morning that he's taking the summer off to rest his body. And we already knew Kobe Bryant, and Anthony Davis underwent knee surgery, shoulder surgery, basically full body surgery. And he won't be playing either. So Chris Paul's the big news. So with Anthony Davis out, we discussed, and you can check that clip in the cards above. I don't even care where they come from. They rain down from the heavens. You can check out who we believe should be replacing Davis. Now, with Chris Paul out, there's not a gaping wide hole because Team USA is the freaking juggernauts of basketball, but there's a hole. Because what I believed, even with Chris Paul, is that he wouldn't be the starting point guard.
Chef.
I think Chef Curry and Russell Westbrook are going to actually round out that backcourt, and I denied that at first. Dan Keston made me believe it. Now I believe it. But so it does leave an opening. Guards that could be taken into consideration. Mike Conley.
Damian Lillard.
James Harden. Jose Calderon. I'm just kidding. He plays for Spain, and he's terrible. But also I have one more graphic. The Olympic vets that SB Nation at least believes are definitely going to be on the roster. I actually agree with this top to bottom. LeBron, Carmelo, of course. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, of course. And they have James Harden because of him playing in the 2014 FIBA World Cup. I know Coach K likes consistency. I know Jerry Colangelo likes consistency. I actually got to speak to Jerry Colangelo once. Really cool guy. We didn't talk about basketball. We talked about baseball. But yeah, so I think James Harden already kind of has that spot in there. But that's why Mike Conley, Damian Lillard, Francis, who we feeling?
I mean, I want D. Lillard, though.
Yeah,
I think he deserves it. But, Jason, why are we not talking about the bigger
Clay?
conversation?
What about Clay?
No, Clay as well, but why are we not talking about the bigger conversation here? Nah, I'm not going to play. I'm going to rest. If that was to happen in world football, do you know what would happen to that person who would say that? But I understand. Basketball, big sport, right? And it's a long season. The Olympics is considered...
It's kind of like an apples to oranges, or if I may, a roses to
the only reason
carnations.
This would happen in Olympics quite a lot, right? This would happen in Olympics. No one really wants to play in the Olympics. But how many big... This is what I want to ask before I get into my point. How many big tournaments is there for a national basketball association? The World Cup is considered big, right? But would you not say the Olympics is considered...
What's the biggest basketball?
The biggest basketball?
I actually consider the NBA Finals a bigger basketball
No, I'm talking about from a national point of view.
Yeah, it's the only one. You get a medal. It's
got a sense of
the dream teams. We've almost
sense of national pride to it, right? So what I'm saying is, in this context of this, apples to oranges may be, but to rest your body is one thing, right? You're tired. Basketball goes from when? When is it? Does it go from
November to interminably long into June?
Yeah,
the finals are June 1st.
I'm just saying, as a football fan and what I've been brought up, it's the Olympics, yes, because trust me, there's many other different tournaments that go along. So I'm not comparing one Olympics to the other, because for basketball in this situation, this Olympics holds a lot more preference, I think. But when it comes to there may be more games, and I see your point, Dan. You're saying more games in the NBA, but it's still it's the sense of you're playing for your country. If Lionel Messi was to be like, for the Copa America, you know what? Yeah, my body is
but
had
this
enough.
Isn't, and look, I love Chris Paul, but it's not like LeBron is saying, I want to rest.
But Chris Paul is still an influential member of the team.
Influential, but also replaceable given the talent pool. LeBron's replaceable too. I'm not going to harp on Chris Paul for resting. I would harp on it if in 3 weeks, Durant and Westbrook and LeBron and Melo and James Harden and all these guys just were like, nah.
But why wouldn't they think
rest.
about doing that if Chris Paul was thinking about doing it?
I think they want to play in the Olympics this summer. Don't you want to have guys that want to win?
But that's what I'm saying. It's almost...
And, I'm going to go back to Dan's point of the 82 games. Look, Chris Paul doesn't have an NBA championship. And I think he holds that personally more important. And he has a gold medal. He already has one.
Okay.
He wants a ring. I'm not getting mad at Chris Paul for this.
I'm not getting
He's
mad.
allowed to go on vacation.
My rings are gone.
You ain't got no rings.
It's the culture. It's the cultural differences. It's
Comparing Chris Paul to Lionel
I'm
Messi.
telling you, if Neymar was to not even after the World Cup, if Neymar
You're
was to
picking
defect,
like the end-all be-all. I think this is more like if Thomas Mueller was like,
Thomas Mueller defects from Germany. It defects from Germany. It's almost like he
What if he's
is not
tired?
going into a situation, and I don't think if he's tired, he wouldn't be allowed. Like he would be hopped by the media. He'd be called a traitor. He'd be called. I'm just saying.
Chris Paul isn't leaving the U.S. and being like, you know what, guys? I'm joining Wiggins and I'm playing in Canada.
I'm just posing. We can't do that. I mean, I don't think you can.
Well,
But
didn't they do that with, oh, come
he
on.
didn't have cap. He wasn't capped. You need to be capped. Capped? Capped.
Who am I thinking of?
Diego Costa.
Yeah!
But he wasn't capped for Brazil. Like, he didn't pledge his allegiance to that country by playing in a game.
I
I'm
pledge
just
allegiance
stating.
to the flag every day, but, you know.
I'm just stating that it's an interesting conversation we can have. Is the ability? It seems like the players have a lot of the control. Like players ultimately have control in football as well, but at the same time, it's like it's they would face a significant amount of backlash if they were to go away. If they were going away to get surgery and things, then yes, I understand that. And resting your body is vital, but like. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just a little bit harsh. I'm
I
like,
guess you are.
football is a year-long sport. It's
what-
like, fuck, man. I
Tired.
get cramp.
Yeah, but what if, like, Mrs. Paul or Mrs. Mueller was like, you just played a full season. You ain't playing in the fucking tournament.
Well, you know what you got yourself into. You might be.
Summer is family time.
Football's get the least amount of time off than any other sport.
Do you
That's
know what
it.
Chris
2
Paul?
weeks is what
I
they
think
get.
Chris Paul is really excited to go film some more Hoopers commercials.
I think he's excited to go and work for State Farm. He's going to go and work for State Farm for the months. Just my thoughts. So, by the way, before you jump on and go crazy, ask that question. Is that a point to take in consideration? That the
Is
players,
Chris Paul a Benedict Arnold? Is the question you're asking.
is he willing?
Do you know Benedict Arnold?
I know Benedict Cumberbatch. He's got he's a great actor. Great career ahead of him.
Smog from fucking Lord of the
That's
Rings.
what you think of Smog, where he's not actually on camera as a face.
Their resemblance is uncanny.
Right,
Sherlock's a good show. There's some other things he's in too.
He was in The Imitation Game. The best movie, in
Imitation
my view,
Game.
it should have won the Oscar. But let's not get defect away from that
The
conversation.
Oscar goes to Chris Paul. Okay. All right. So for the comment section, is Chris Paul a traitor to the United States?
So, no way did I say that.
Because he's not playing because he needs to rest up during the off season, or is the USA stacked enough that it doesn't really
You have,
matter?
like, how many months do you have, by the way, off season? Let me just ask this last point.
Not that much. You get from, I don't know, if you play in the finals, you get like midway through June to like preseason basketball in October, I guess.
What the fuck? That's 3 months nearly.
Yeah, what
Football's get 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
No,
That's it.
there's like a 6-week break.
Oh, what? 1 year out of every year? Because there's Euros, then there's World Cups, and then there's Copa Americas. Come on.
They get paid more. Comment below.